Grandmama, what do you like to cook in the fall?
Soups, stews, beef,
Chilies?
chilies, stew beef, anything that is a comfort meal to me. And all my soups and chilies and beef stew with carrots, and I used to put potatoes in it, but I think I'm going to use cauliflower this time. But today we're making taco soup. Now yesterday, if you caught my video, I made us a taco salad. Well, it was so good. I said today, it's a Thursday morning. I think it was like in the 40s this morning. Beautiful outside. Just puts you in the mood for some comfort food. And taco soup is a comfort food. And so, in my pot over here, I have got 3 different kinds of meat. I've got sausage, a half a pound of sausage, half a ground sausage, a half a pound of ground turkey, and about 3/4 of a pound of ground beef. So I'm letting it cook. Right here, I'm just mixing it all together and chopping it with my little chopper. Now, there's not going to be much fat in this at all because of my sausage is really lean, and my ground beef is lean, and my turkey is totally lean. To this, I'm adding a good cup of chopped onions. We love onions, so I always put a lot of onions. And now, I had some peppers. Now, this is not your traditional taco soup. I had peppers that I needed to use in the fridge. I had some tomato sauce, so I'm going to put my peppers, and that's a half a cup of orange and red peppers. So I'm going to cook all this together. It shouldn't take it long because I got it on high. And it doesn't, I don't care if my onions and peppers don't get done right now because it's going to cook for about 30 minutes after I get all my ingredients in it. So now to this, I am going to add like a half a teaspoon of pepper, and I'm going to add a teaspoon of salt. And I'm just going to let my meat get done before I add any of my other. I'll go ahead and add my, now most taco soups don't call for garlic, onion powder, things like that, but we love it. So I'm going to put a teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of onion powder. We just like really seasoned food, and so I always usually add garlic and onion. Now this is ranch seasoning. It's like ranch dressing mix. You can use this, you can use the ranch dip. I don't know if they're the same, but I think they are. And I just buy this in a big container. So I'm going to add a tablespoon. Usually I add a pack of the ranch. So I'm going to add 2 tablespoons because I think that's about how much is in a pack of your seasoning mix. It's probably 2 tablespoons. I've never looked at the ounces on it. So, spoon. Get all this off. The meat's broken up pretty good. So I'm just going to stir it. Ooh, man, it smells good already. Woo. I love mixing different meats. Like when I make chili, I love mixing sausage and ground beef. Or any other stews like that where you use your ground meat. I just love mixing them. So, and since I made my my taco salad yesterday out of ground turkey, and it was so delicious, I said, well, I had another pack of turkey in the freezer. So I said, well, I'm just going to mix 3 meats today. So, but like I say, this is not your traditional taco soup. This is my version of taco soup. And you can always, whatever your family likes, put it in your soup. Don't be bound by a specific recipe. You can take a basic recipe and make it your own. And that's what I always do. So don't be intimidated. Don't let a recipe determine how you want to make it. You just put whatever your family likes, or sometimes just what's in the refrigerator. So.
And right now, mixing turkey in with your beef is bringing down the cost of your beef because you're using less beef.
Yes.
Stretching your budget.
Ground turkey is about 1/3 the price of ground beef now, maybe a half. I get my ground turkey, it comes frozen in a little tube. I get it at Aldi's, and it's like $2.89 a pound. I mean, you can't get ground beef. And if I had venison in the freezer, and we're going to my grandson's this weekend, and I'm gonna get some of his venison, or my son-in-law's, because they have a lot in their freezer. I would mix some venison in with this. Okay, that's done enough. So now I wrote out the recipe so I wouldn't forget anything. It's 1 cup of diced onions, 1 teaspoon of garlic, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 2 tablespoons of your ranch dressing mix. And I may add more of this. I'll just wait and see what it tastes like. Okay, now 1 package of taco seasoning. Well, you know, I forgot to get it out, baby. You know I don't use packaged taco seasoning. From my recipe yesterday, you know I make my own. So to this, I'm going to add, like I say, I don't know how much 1 packet is, but I added 2 tablespoons of my homemade taco seasoning.
And you got that recipe where?
I got it from Miss Lori on Whippoorwill Hollow. She makes, and if you watched my video yesterday, she makes her own seasoning mixes, like her ranch dressing. And when this runs out, I'm going to make my own ranch dressing, because I don't like a lot of the monosodium glutamate stuff. I don't like all the additives they put in these. So, all right. Now to this, I've got most of my seasonings in there, and I'm going to add corn, and that's about this is about probably a cup of corn. I'm going to add black beans. Now, I don't usually rinse my beans, but when I use black beans, I do. I rinse them because they have such, and this is 1 can, 1 15-ounce can, I think. They have, the juice is so dark, so I don't like that dark juice. I try not to rinse my beans because I feel like I lose all of the nutrients. Now, usually I put ranchero beans, which is a pinto bean that has a few seasonings in it, but I didn't have that. So, I improvise. I had some white beans, but this is pork and beans, and it's just a white bean that they put a little bit of tomato sauce in, I think. So, all right, now to that, I'm adding 1 can of chili ready tomato, diced tomatoes. So, because I wanted this to be real seasoned. All right, now this is going to be a thick, hearty soup. And I had a little bit of tomato sauce in the fridge that needed using. So I'm going to put that in there. Now this is a can of rotel tomatoes.
Turn it a little more my way.
With diced chilies, green chilies.
Okay.
Now, I do the mild because the hot is so hot. I can always add my own crushed red pepper or cayenne pepper or something. But children are going to be eating this, so I didn't want to use the hot. Now, wow. This is a hearty soup right here. Now, you can use water if you want to. I don't use water unless I am totally out of my broth. And this is beef broth right here. Okay. So it's a lot more nutritious. It's a lot more flavor than water. So I'm adding 2 cups of my beef broth. Ooh, that's a pot full.
Grandmama, you could have a barn raising with this soup.
I know. But I can freeze what's left. But I got grandkids coming tomorrow, so.
I just mean it's so hearty, you feed them one time and they could work a weekend.
I know.
Good grief.
Now, anytime I use black beans in a recipe, I like to use corn. I love corn and black beans together. And so, look at that. Isn't that a beautiful? That's a beautiful soup. And if you wanted to really stretch this, because this has got a lot of meat in it, you can either cut down on your meat to like 1/3 of the meat, 1/2 the meat, add more beans. We love beans, so I probably would add another can of beans to this, and I may, and I'm not sure, I'll just wait and see, to make it go farther. But you can always cut down because beans are a really good source of protein. Your red beans, black beans, white beans, garbanzo beans, they're all a really, really good source of protein. So really, you could really cut back a lot on the meat that's in this soup. But I just wanted to show you how I make my taco soup. And I'll be honest, I don't make it the same time every way. I mean, the same way every time.
You don't say that sentence the same way every time, do you?
No, I don't. Because it's just whatever I have. I make it taste like taco, but it's just whatever I have is what I use.
She goes to her open pantry and just starts bringing stuff out.
I do, and I see what I got in there, and I'll make it taste like taco soup, but it may not have the same ingredients that it does this morning. Roy says, "Honey, write your recipe down." I said, "Why am I going to write a recipe down? I never go by this. I never make it the same way twice." And so, but that's because I use what I have. Usually, and usually I can make it taste pretty good. I mean, like the original is supposed to. But I'm going to let this cook for like 15 or 20 minutes, and then I'm going to taste of it and see if I've got enough of my taco seasoning, enough of my ranch dressing in it, and enough salt, pepper, other seasoning. So I'm gonna, and after about 15 minutes, I'm gonna let all these flavors kind of marry together. So after about 15 minutes, I'll taste of it, and I'm gonna let it cook about 30 minutes, and then I'm cooking it for tomorrow because I'm having grandchildren tomorrow. It will be better the next day than it is today.
Why is it better the next day?
Because all of your flavors, you sit and all of your flavors marry together. They combine.
Yeah. So many dishes are that way, aren't they?
Yes. Your
casseroles, soup, stews.
Stews are always to us better the next day because it sits there and your flavors just all intermingle and they marry together. So, okay. This is how I make my taco soup.
Well, all those
Today.
cans of food found their way into your pot, didn't they?
Yes, yes. They, this is the way I'm making my taco soup today. Now, if I make it next week, it won't be the exact. But I have a recipe that I go by. And like this one doesn't have corn on it. Well, I had corn in the refrigerator, and I love black beans and corn together. So, and this one calls for, there was something else in there. Oh, the ranchero beans, I didn't have those, so I just added pork and beans.
Do you ever add cheese to this?
After, when you start to serve it, I have a dish of cheese on the
Okay.
table, and people can put
Yeah.
cheese on, but no, I never put it in,
Okay.
never in my taco soup. So I'll be back with y'all probably 30, 45 minutes when this gets ready, and I'll let y'all see what my taco soup looks like. All right, baby.
All right, I have a bowl,
A pot.
a pot. What are you calling this now?
Taco soup.
Taco soup. I didn't know whether you said taco chili or
No,
taco soup.
soup. Now, I did add another can of beans to it because we love beans, and I added 1 more tablespoon of your ranch dressing.
Did you add any more liquid?
No.
Okay.
Nope. So, Roy is fixing to taste.
But you could. This is really, really hearty and thick.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to add more liquid, you could.
Yep.
All right.
Okay, he's fixing to give it a taste and let us
Man.
know.
This is the real fall theme here.
Yes, it is. I'm going to get up close.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, Grandmama.
That's taco soup, isn't it?
That's taco soup. Ouch. Ouch.
And by tomorrow, it's going to be even better.
Woo. Thank you for watching. Punch and subscribe. Punch that button on the thumb.
Hit the notification bell.
Hit the subscription or notification bell. Hit that thumb. Hit all that stuff.
Love y'all.
We're having fun. Keep the delicious in healthy food, and that's what this is.
Yep. Love y'all.